Welcome, guys. Super excited that you guys have decided to join us on this lovely Sunday because we have the pleasure of having a special couple in front of us. And before we really get into the logistics of who they are, I want to welcome you to the Millennial Power Couple Show. Guys, this is episode 8, and the topic is I'm an entrepreneur, but my spouse isn't. I'm your host, Portia Johnson, and my other host,
Justin Johnson.
Guys, we want you guys to engage with us. Tell us where you are tuning in from. Let us know any comments or questions that you have in the comment section because we want to know what you think. We want you to join in on the discussion. So before we get into it, our power couple, tell us who you are and where you guys are from.
I'm Tavares Allen. I'm from Dallas. It's weird looking at you.
So we won't worry about this part. My name is Jennifer Allen, and I am also from Dallas.
All right, guys. So, as you know, this is a millennial power couple who are married. Let us know your marriage story. How did you guys meet, and how long have you been married?
So we met on MySpace.
MySpace.
She slid in my DMs.
I did not slide in his DMs, but had he not slid in mine, I would have because he was looking good. So I would have slid in his DMs. But we met on MySpace in 2009, and we got married in 2010. So we definitely did not have a very long courtship before we got married.
Well, let's just say it was a time when MySpace was popping.
Yes.
Okay.
This was the height of MySpace.
Well, it was kind of towards the end, but luckily we got in there before it went away.
He had to sip water on that part. Well, listen, guys, I know for a fact that with this topic, it's all about entrepreneurship and how entrepreneurs are connected to a spouse that may not be an entrepreneur themselves. We know that to be with an entrepreneur, it comes with some challenges. They're hope addicts. They are sometimes musicians and bring magic to the table. And who knows that they also have a part of, to be with an entrepreneur, there's a slight part of challenges that may come with the relationship. So before we get started, who is the entrepreneur in the relationship?
She is.
Me.
See, a lot of people may assume that it would have been the man, but in this case, it is the woman. So I want to know, how did you know you was an entrepreneur? And then for you, how did you know you weren't?
Okay, so for me, it was more so I've always had this overly creative mind. And I knew that the things that I wanted to do in life could not be confined at a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So I knew I needed to take that plunge.
Yeah.
And I guess with me, I always knew I needed structure. Like even in high school, I didn't go straight out to college. I went to the military because I knew I lacked structure. And the number one thing with being an entrepreneur is you got to have discipline within yourself. And that's the one thing that I don't have. And so I went to go get that structure, and I like structure. Tell me what I need to do, and I'll do it. Yeah. That's what I like.
So I want to know, how did you, knowing that you needed structure and she was the entrepreneur, how do you communicate in this relationship?
Really and truly, it's, being with somebody that's an entrepreneur is just a lot of listening. Like I'm that listening ear. So, and I provide the structure in a sense. Yeah. Because when you're with an entrepreneur, her mind is going.
Yes.
All day long.
It doesn't stop.
You're great, and you are a great listener.
She has like ideas after ideas after ideas. This isn't our first idea, and I'm sure this won't be our last idea. So it's just up to, you just got to kind of play off of each other. My strength is structure. Her strength is idea making. So.
I like that.
You're a good listener, so I appreciate it.
That's awesome. Yeah, so definitely, so I have a question for y'all. So obviously, amazing couple. Y'all doing big things here in Dallas. So how do you balance marriage, parenthood, and business?
So I'm a firm believer in that you just have to realize that on some days you're going to suck at something. Yeah. You cannot give 100% to every single thing, every single day as an individual. Yeah. So what really helps is on some days my children may require more of my attention. My husband may require more of my attention. Our business may require more of my attention. So when I'm lacking in those areas, I'm so thankful for my husband because he quickly picks up wherever I am lacking at. And, we have taken what most would deem as an unconventional role a lot of the times to whereas I'm so focused on the business aspect that he immediately jumps in. Will do the cooking. Will do getting the kids ready, that sort of thing. So I think that having that helpmate piece really helps that balance.
Yeah.
We pretty much don't have any gender. There's no gender role.
No gender roles in our house. So
there's no
gender roles.
There's no gender role.
No.
That's key right there.
Until it comes to folding clothes, I refuse to fold clothes.
He refuses to fold the clothes. He will wash them all, and so
I feel you know what? I hate folding clothes too.
Yeah,
I'm
not folding no clothes. I'll do anything else. I'm not folding clothes.
Gotcha. Hey, that's a good compromise.
Yeah.
So definitely, leading to the next question is, there are no real off days when it comes to being an entrepreneur. So how do you guys make time for each other, spend that quality time as a couple?
Yeah. That's like super important because like now we're really busy.
Yeah.
You can look up a couple months down the line, you're like, man, every weekend I've done
Every
something.
weekend is busy.
So, as unconventional as this may sound, you have to kind of plan dates. You have to plan nights. You have to plan intimacy. You almost have to plan everything because you got deadlines to meet we both work full time. So on top of working full time, then we got boys, they're involved in different things. And then on top of that, running these businesses. So you really have to plan everything. So, and it's important because if you don't plan anything, you're going to look up 4 or 5 months down the line and be like, we ain't seen each other alone.
Yeah,
so,
right.
A lot of times I'll go to sleep before she does, or she'll go to sleep before I do. And it's just a nature of the beast.
Yeah. You just have to be intentional when you are married, and especially when you are, because I have not transitioned into full-time entrepreneurship yet, so I still work a full-time job and run a full-time business,
which is most entrepreneurs.
Yes, and so it's. You just have to be so intentional in saying we have to carve this time out for each other, even if it's something small like, let's just stay up and watch a show tonight. Let's find a series. Let's find something that we like. You have to have something that's yours.
Yeah. That's good.
But definitely, just by talking to y'all for this short period of time, I mean, I can tell y'all work together. Like y'all teamwork is on point. So we already know y'all gonna be extremely successful. So definitely, leading to the next question is, how do you deal with pressure of demands of growing a successful business? Also, for example, if the business is not growing and profiting in the right way.
I think the biggest piece, if I answer this question, the biggest piece is we have learned through trial and error of previous businesses that I've had the idea to start that you have to have a plan.
Yeah.
If you go into it with a plan and you know that there are certain benchmarks that you need to hit, if you're not hitting, ABC, you can't expect to just jump to Z.
Right.
And so I think that what's so important is that people go into it and they don't have a plan and they just expect, I want to make $1 million this year. But in order to do that, do you even know how much money you need to make a month to make $1 million?
Right.
How much do you need to? People just say that, but you need to make $83,000 a month profit to make $1 million. And a lot of people don't even know how to break it down that way. Right. So if you know I need to make $83,000 a month, what are your services? What are you charging? What are you doing? How are you ever going to really attain that goal if you don't even know what it takes to get there?
Right. And
so I think for us, it's just we try to be as structured in the sense of from start to finish, what is it that we need to do to get to that point so that we don't have to deal with those hardships or that pressure of it's not going as fast as we want it to, instead of saying we know how fast it should go because we have to hit these points before it can get to the next piece.
And also, I would just say, just don't let money dictate your goal.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
It's patience.
That's true.
If you're doing it for money, it's not going to work. Like I know that you hear that a lot. If you're doing it for money, it's not going to happen. That's honest to God, the truth.
Right.
Because like she said, this ain't her first business that she wants to start, but this is her. This is a business that she's truly passionate about. Whether it made $1 or it make $1 million, she's still gonna do it.
Right.
And I think that's where the success comes from when you do
That's
something
her
that you actually
happiness.
get passionate about.
Yeah.
So don't set a monetary. That's my thing. Is don't set a monetary goal.
Not in the beginning,
because you may not reach your goal, like you were just saying.
And you gotta also know when this isn't working. Like some people get so dead set. This is it. But if you look up 5-6 years from now, you're trying to start a t-shirt business. If you say, I want to do t-shirts. Everybody's doing t-shirts. Mm-hmm. You look up 5-6 years from now, and your t-shirts, still only doing 5 to 10 shirts a month, and you haven't really looked at your business, or you ain't changed anything. Maybe it's just not working for you.
Right.
It's not that you're not meant to be an entrepreneur, but that ain't what you're meant to be doing.
The wrong
right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's key. So I want to know, what can entrepreneurs do, if you can just give some advice to those who may be married or want to be in an inspiring marriage, or whatever the case may be. What can entrepreneurs do to not neglect the marriage or the relationship that they're a part of? Because that's
this
now we
question.
talk about
Sex is key.
Okay.
A lot of people don't. I mean, we're all adults here. From a man's perspective, you have to feed into what your spouse wants. So you have to speak to their love language. If intimacy is what your spouse needs to feel that connection, even if you're busy doing 45 different things, you have to figure out what works for your household. And for my household, I know that if I could just give him.
Let me 20 minutes of your good. 20 minutes of your time.
If I can give him that piece for him, then that feeds into what he needs, which will allow me in turn to work better. So I think it's more so just figuring out what your spouse needs from you.
Right.
And I don't want to necessarily say to shut them up, but everybody needs something.
It's true. It's true. It's true. Everybody, you have to be able to be an adult about the situation.
Right.
I always say closed mouth don't get fed.
Yeah.
That's a true statement. So you just got, and on the other side with that, being with an entrepreneur, it's a lot of listening.
Okay.
It is a lot. I tell anybody, if you with somebody that's an entrepreneur, be prepared to get your listening ears. You gotta listen. You gotta be attentive.
Listening ears. You
gotta be attentive. That's the number one thing. That's her thing, is I have to sit there.
Don't look at your phone. Talk. Look. I'm trying to show you 40 things.
Right.
It could be the same idea that we talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
We're gonna go through it again.
Yeah.
And you gotta show that same amount of focus.
Yeah. Listen, we have so many viewers that are tuning in. First off, I want to thank you again with just a couple of shout outs of those who are watching. If you have any comments or questions that you want to share, put them in the comment section. We want to be able to read them out loud and share with our guests here. I want to know, leading into that, what you just said, Tavares, how do you support each other?
Really, like I was saying, with her is, her brain is 24 hours nonstop. It doesn't stop.
Yeah. So
knowing that I play my role and I just listen and I just try to rein it in, but also you gotta allow her, entrepreneurs to free think, because that's when they're working. Like me, I can play my video game mindlessly for hours.
Yeah.
She can't do that. There's nothing that she can do to take her mind goes. It's like an Energizer Bunny. It goes and goes. And with that, you just gotta listen. Honestly, they always say communication is key in every relationship. And I just think with being an entrepreneur, the number one thing is just listen. That's how, honestly, I don't have to say much. If I'm just there in the room, and she could be sitting at the computer, and I could be laying in the bed.
So your presence is...
And she's gonna be talking, and working. And you don't know it, but eventually she's gonna turn around, and I bet not be asleep. I gotta be listening.
Yeah, but you give great
feedback.
But you give great feedback, and so I think that being married, you have to be able to take in the opinions of your and I think that Tavares does a really good job with that, because I know that when he says something to me, that it's coming from a place of love, whether he agrees with it or not.
Right.
And so you have to have people around you that can tell you, I don't think that that's working, or I don't think that that's a good idea, or you should maybe try this instead.
Don't be afraid to say no.
You can't be afraid to say no, because me personally, I don't surround myself with yes men, whether that's my husband or my friends. Right. Because if I'm talking to you about something, I want you to be able to tell me, I don't really think so. Or, even if I decide to do it, I still respect your opinion on what it is that you said. I'm not going to look at you any differently because you think that the idea I have isn't a good one. I just appreciate that you respect me enough and our relationship enough to be honest.
Right.
And so I think that that's something that Tavares does really well because, again, I'll have 1,000,001 ideas and thoughts within like a 2 days time span.
She'll say, let's plan an elopement on the moon.
Yeah.
But she won't think about, hey, we got to get this rocket ship.
Right.
Right.
We got to get there. We got to
So I think I do big picture thinking, and then Tavares is really good about saying, okay, well, let's break down the details of what
you
that
ask the
would
questions
take.
on how to get there.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, oh, well, maybe
Like
not
we
the
did.
moon, but maybe the museum in front of the exhibit for
Like
the
we
moon.
did the news. We did the marriage on the news. We had a couple that we married on Good Morning Texas. You know, and you gotta remember, this is somebody's wedding. It's somebody's that's somebody gonna remember.
Right.
So I can say we're gonna marry you on the news. We're gonna find somebody to marry on the news. We got to find that particular couple. Like it ain't all about saying like just because every opportunity comes to you, you can't say yes to every opportunity because what if it doesn't happen? You don't tell the person, I'm gonna do something, and you can't come through.
Yeah.
So.
I always commit.
That's cute.
Oh, she's super.
Like if so like when the news approached us, she was like, "Hey, we want you to marry some." It was a Thursday. She's like, "Hey, could you marry somebody on the news?" And I was like, "Yeah." And so she was like, "But
had no couple."
She was like, "Next." She was like, "So what about?" I said, "This would be great for Valentine's Day." And she's like, "No, we're actually thinking next Thursday." And I was like, "Okay."
So it's a 7-day time frame.
And then
to find somebody.
Then she was like, but the key to that is our last live episode of the year, everybody on set wears pajamas. So not only did I need to find a couple that wanted to get married on the news, I need to find a couple that wanted to get married on the news in pajamas. And I was
during the weekday.
During the weekday, it was Friday.
Like you can't go to your job and say, "Hey, I'm getting married Thursday." They would be like, "Why you didn't tell us this months ago?"
Right.
So she was like, "Do you got it?" I was like, "Of course I do," because that's my mind frame. Is that no matter what, I'm gonna figure it out.
Which she normally does.
And so
at the same time, I had to be like,
it puts him on high stress alert. I'm
that's
chilling.
that entrepreneur.
Yeah.
She's gonna jump in.
Yeah.
She's gonna jump in.
We're not missing this opportunity.
But definitely, I mean, that's great because like by her being an entrepreneur, I know we as entrepreneurs, we always have visions that everybody can see.
Yeah.
So by her committing, even though she don't have a client, and then you supporting her, I mean that's perfect because there's a lot of people that's watching that don't have that support like that.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's great. So leading to the next question, what are some key essentials for longevity in a successful marriage?
Sex. I'm telling you.
Boom, there it is.
And drop mic.
If it's one thing that I want
right at the camera for that
to
one.
listen to me and understand, men, that's what we want.
There it is, y'all. There it is.
So outside of that, because that's definitely an important piece. The intimacy is an important piece, but I think more so than anything, it is loving your spouse the way that they want to be loved, not the way that you want to love them, not the way that society deems that you should love them. Whatever works for your household works for you.
Yeah.
Whether that's unconventional to society standards, whatever it is, if it makes you happy and it makes your spouse happy, then you have to live inside your own bubble at your house. And we've been married for 8 years. We've been parents for 6 years. So I think that the key to that is that we do things on our terms. We make our own memories. We set our own traditions. We do our thing because the most important piece to my life at this point is my husband and my children, and then everything else just comes after that. So just learning to not put anything above those two things has really helped us grow because, at the end of the day, everybody goes home to their own house.
Right.
So whatever you do, you have to deal with that on the back end in your home.
Yeah.
So I would make sure that we're good because I have to go home with him, not with the person I have to please outside of my house.
Right.
So, yeah.
This is, you said something. What advice would you guys give? Because we're both in business. You guys are in business, and you guys connect with people who are also in business. But we've come across certain type of couples, marriages who want to be successful in their business, right? They want to succeed. But however, though, when they go home, they have the spouse that not only are they not the entrepreneur, but they're not supporting their business.
Oh, I mean,
and that's hard for them to be successful when you go home and you don't have that person that you want in your corner, but who isn't. Yeah. What advice would you give them?
I've been the bad guy at home.
Yeah.
On a couple of ideas.
Yeah.
I've been the bad guy at home. But, you know, the one thing that you realize when you're with an entrepreneur is they're going to come to that door every day with an idea. Like, they're going to come, like, if you are a legit entrepreneur, you're just not going to take no for an answer. Like, she's gonna, I mean, she'll listen to me. She's not gonna take no for an answer. And you have to, that's a trait you have to admire about your spouse. Whether it's, you know, you're the entrepreneur, they're not the entrepreneurs. If they're not gonna take no for an answer, if she's not gonna take no from me, which, like she just said, you know, I'm the most important person, or, you know, I'm in that hierarchy. She's not gonna take no from me. I know she's not gonna go take no from no matter anybody else. Yeah. And that's a trait that, you know, you have to admire. Because me personally, I'm you know, these are the rules. This is the structure. This is that. This is how life goes. This is what we do, and that, you know. And so that's me in it. You know, it helps me get out of my comfort zone because it does help me. She helps me go after what I want to do. Like, she helps me step outside my zone. She'll ask me questions that I don't normally think of. She'll be like, you know, as far as, you know, yeah, you're in corporate America, but what do you want to do? And, you know, somebody that's not an entrepreneur, I honestly don't think about that. You know, it's like. Man, it's like, you know,
you're not really wired.
I got two kids. I got 2 kids. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna save money, send my kids to school, make sure they do what they're supposed to do, and have specific.
And that's not bad. No.
Right. But I honestly, being with the entrepreneur, I want my kids to be entrepreneurs. Yeah. Like, I don't want my kids to have my mode of thinking, because I honestly think that nobody should be tied to working for somebody else, because. You know, you see those cars, those license plates. I don't know why. Something about reading those license plates, or it's like a quote I read where the dude was like, he was coming into the parking lot. And he said, "Man, that's a nice Lamborghini you got there." And then the boss told him, "You know, if you work as hard as you know, if you continue to work as hard as you do, I can get another one next year." And that's something about that bothers me. Yeah. And it's true, you know, and it's hard to get out that rat race, but I don't want my kids. I want my kids to be entrepreneurs. So, you know, you just gotta take that trait and let them run with it.
But I can definitely respect the fact that Tavares does provide that structure of our household to where I do have the freedom to explore and do all of these things, because I know that every day he's going to get up and go to work to provide for our family, so that whether we make a dime from our business or not, we're taken care of. And so it's like, it's hard for 2 people, you know, to be entrepreneurs in the same household, because somebody has to your children should not have to struggle because you wake up one morning and decide that you want to change your life. It's not fair to them, you know, to have to not be able to do certain things or be afforded certain opportunities because mom and daddy woke up this morning and decided we quitting our jobs, we gonna you know, live in a tent and we just gonna do this. So it's like,
everybody can't wake up with like Donald Trump with a small business loan of $1 million.
Oh, $1 million from his father, right? You know, so
can't get that small business loan.
So, you know, I just appreciate Tavares so much, because no matter what, I know that he's going to take care of us. Yes. So that I can be free to do the other things that you know, I want to do. So
yeah, and that's good. You trust him.
Yes.
Everybody does their part and bring it to the table.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a good thing. I want you guys to talk about. I know you talked about you was the bad guy at one point, but has there ever been a point where in the business there was a challenge? How did you guys overcome that particular challenge? It could have been financially, it could have just been with some type of business deal that went on. How did you guys overcome that?
I personally think that the biggest thing for us has been me actually allowing Tavares to have a voice. And because as far as business deals and anything financial, thank God that we have not had to deal with those hardships. Yeah. Because we both work full time. Mm-hmm. So because right now we still have that safety net of that 9 to 5, mm-hmm. the financial piece hasn't been an issue because everything that we've made technically has just been in addition to what our normal household is. Right. But I think that I get so set in my ways at times where I'm like, no, this is my business. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing that. That I have to sit back and realize, like, in the reality of things, like, this is our business. Yeah. And his opinion is just as important as mine is. Although I handle the creative piece, I don't need to be dismissive to how he may feel about something. I need to just be open to receiving that. And I think that this last year has really improved, and just me making it more of a point to, I have a hard time with help. I want to do it all. I want to be super mom, super wife, super businesswoman, super co-worker. I want to just do it all on myself. And I think that this year, what's really helped our marriage as well is involving Tavares in the business, giving him a defined role. You know, I handle
giving me a defined role because
okay.
He jumped in there quick. Like, hold up.
So what did you call it?
No, but honestly, but when you can with your spouse, you can probably always find a role in the business. It's always like her. She's super creative. The idea of this business, I mean, to come from that place to create that business, but what she probably doesn't think about is taxes.
Right.
Or the business side. Or, and that's me.
Or the trademark, or the LLC, or the bank account.
All that type of stuff,
He got it.
And that's where your structure comes in.
That's where the structure comes. There's a place for the spouse being with an entrepreneur. There is a space for the spouse to even be, quote unquote, that entrepreneur
if you
by
want
participant. But you got to listen. You just got to listen, because she doesn't have all the answers. But to keep her from going to go pay somebody for some of the answers, hey, let me use my strengths, and there you go.
It just made me think, what if you have that spouse that says, well, my spouse doesn't share their business with me?
You just gotta, she don't take no for an answer. Like I told you, she don't take no for an answer. That's where you as your spouse, you gotta be like, you know what? No, I'm not taking, I'm gonna keep bringing this up because until you listen. And then, because sometimes they're hard-headed. Sometimes entrepreneurs are hard-headed. But it comes from a good place. It comes from, she wants, honestly, I've never met somebody with a drive like that. Like, you honestly can't be mad. Like, no matter what the disagreement is at that time, I know it's all because she wants to be successful. It ain't because she wants something for herself. It ain't because she wants it for our kids. Like, she wants it for our kids and she wants it for our household. So as long as you know that in the back of your head, at that instant, it might be like, man, you know what? That really wasn't cool. But when you sit and think about it, you be like, man, she just really want to grind. She want to get it, and and you just got to admire that.
But I also think that on the other side of that is that if you truly want to do something, whether you have the support of your spouse, your parents, your friends, whoever, you're gonna make a way, and you're gonna do it. I'm definitely blessed in the sense that my husband is so supportive. Our parents are so supportive. My immediate circle is so supportive. But if they were not, it may take me longer to get it done, but I would still do it. And I think that if you don't have that drive to want to figure it out no matter what, then maybe it's just not for you. Because there was a point in our marriage where it was not this just cohesiveness that we have now of this is how it all runs, and that attention piece that you need to give your spouse, like that piece was a struggle at one point, because I'm like, I can't balance all of these things. So I would literally wait till everybody went to sleep and then I would work, because I didn't want to cause the friction at home. But I think that once we really sat down and talked about it and got on track, and it was just like, okay, I'm going to take the kids, just like today. We had a photo shoot this morning, and when it was over, we were in 2 separate cars because I went to get my makeup done this morning. Shout out to MUA Tasha Renee. She's the best. But once we got done, Tavares was like, hey, I'm going to take the kids to this jumping park, and so you can go home and work without us being at home. And so I think that just that piece there is... like, that's the type of person that he is. Like, if he sees me struggling in something, or if I've been up all night long, he's like, okay, well, you just go ahead and go to sleep. I'm just going to do this. Like, and everybody always says, oh, Jennifer, I don't know how you do it. You do all these things. You run this business. I couldn't do any of the things that I'm doing as quickly as I'm doing them without Tavares. Because if he was not there to help me I'm only a better me because of my husband. Because of the support and the love and just the on me. Have you finished this yet? Have you done this yet? Have you done this? Are you finished? Are you finished?
Because, structure.
Yes, because he knows how bad I want to succeed.
Just want to make sure this is recorded.
Yeah.
She's mad at me.
Run it back. Run it back.
Remember this.
But no, he truly is the best piece of me because of the comfort and security that I have. It allows me to be able to free think.
Right.
As corny as it sounds, it's communication. It's corny. I know
It is.
everybody. You
It's
always
not corny.
like
That's true.
when people think about relationships, when people they listen to well-known speakers like Steve Harvey's, like his book, the Think Like a Man or whatever you read. At the end of the day, when you get to that last page, the key thing in all this is communication. He's trying to teach you how to think.
You read the book?
I ain't read the book, but I know what it is. Like every man knows what it is.
Right.
Everybody, at the end of the day, we all have, like she always says, we all have our ways of communicating. Our ways. She always big on this thing called love language. Everybody wants to be loved in their own way.
Right.
So you just gotta, like her. She's not a gift person. Like I can't buy her.
Right.
She mad at me.
It's
not gonna do it. I can buy her whatever, and
I can buy for myself.
and that's exactly what she gonna look at it. She's gonna be like, well, we share bank accounts. So,
Right. So we have one account. So buying a gift really doesn't do it for me because all the money is in one spot.
Exactly.
So.
You went and bought me a purse with our money. Oh, okay. If I wanted the purse, I could have went and bought it.
Yeah.
So you just gotta. It's communication, man. Honestly, it's just straight up communication.
Yeah.
That's key. I like that.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to acknowledge the fact that you guys have on these lovely T-shirts.
We're matching.
I didn't pick this out.
We are twins.
I want you guys to talk about the business that you guys have.
Yeah.
And then the exciting, you got some good stuff happening this year
It's
for
crazy.
you already.
It's
So
crazy.
let's take some time to talk about it.
So we own an elopement and pop-up wedding planning company. We marry couples anywhere. We've done professional basketball games, the news, Whataburger. Basically, couples come to us. You can come to me on Monday and say, hey, can I get married tomorrow? Yes, you can. We make it happen. So we specialize in intimate weddings for 0 to 30 guests. And so our very first, and we started our business because we went to City Hall. And Tavares proposed on the Thursday. We got married the very next Tuesday, and he left for deployment that exact same day. And so in those 5 days leading up to us actually going to City Hall to get married, I was looking for a company to where we did not have to go to City Hall, that we can still have something that was about us.
Yeah.
And it didn't exist.
Yeah.
And so once he left for deployment, then I started trying to plan this wedding. It became overwhelming and stressful and expensive. And in the back of my mind, it was always, well, we're already married. So I really couldn't justify all the stress and hardships that I was going through. So
Honestly, weddings, to me,
yeah,
you're really paying a lot of money. When you think about it, you're paying a lot of money for somebody else to have fun.
yeah.
You're paying, and you're hoping that your wedding gifts make up for what you spent.
And they don't.
And you get 17 toasters.
Yeah.
But then, listen, I just paid for y'all to have filet mignon. I paid 100 people to have filet mignon. You know what I mean? And that's not saying that you don't deserve it or everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You could do it, but at the same time, why not take that money and buy your first house?
Yeah.
Why not take that honeymoon, or why not put that away in savings? If you want to have that big wedding, do it. But
Because everybody's dream is different.
way.
So we definitely cater to the couple who does not want that, you know, and so that's where our brand comes in. And so we basically
anywhere, think about
anywhere. I mean,
in your backyard.
Anywhere.
if you told me you wanted to get married at Target
If you want to get married on this live right now, because I'm an officiant,
we could marry you right this second.
Let me find somebody.
So come on.
Anybody want to get married right now?
And so we could make it happen, but
no idea is too small. That's what we.
Right.
I always say no
Beautiful.
idea is too big.
Yeah.
Ours is no idea is too small.
right, because your love story is unique. We've done weddings at the State Fair of Texas, coffee shop, Whataburger. Like everybody's love story is different. So why put them in a box and say, this is where you need to get married at? Plus, it saves you a ton of money. But with the exciting pieces of things that are going on with us, last year I attended a course from her name is Big Booty Judy. She is the owner. Her name is Jessica.
Yes.
She is the owner of Kaleidoscope.
Yes.
And Kaleidoscope.
Huge.
Yes. So the Miracle Drops and Kaleidoscope Realty and marketing and everything else. She is a multimillionaire. She is amazing. And she had a contest for whoever attended her class last year to submit a video telling what you learned, why you should be chosen, and she would select one person. And so there were tons of entries, and I won.
Out of how many entries?
There were hundreds of people that put up videos.
Hundreds of people.
Yeah, and so
give me my credit because
I was not going to record the video. I was not going to record the video.
That's the thing.
But he was like, "Do it."
Support.
You know, he's like,
teamwork.
Right. He's like, "Why wouldn't you do it?"
I bought her that ring light for Christmas.
Yes.
Like, it was a Christmas gift because she said she wanted to get into recording videos. She didn't do vlogging. And was it right after she announced that she was doing that competition? And it was just so happened that I gave her the ring light for Christmas, and it was just like
the very next day I recorded the video.
Should I do it? I'm like, yeah, do it.
Yeah.
You know, just do it. You know, if she say yes, she say yes. She say no, she say no, but do it.
So I recorded the video, and she chose me on January 1st. On January 5th, she flew me to New Orleans.
Wow.
No, you got flew.
I got flew out to New Orleans.
Right.
And we are launching Just Elope NOLA. And so we are launching in New Orleans, and we are actually on the competition right now. We're giving away 3 weddings, an elopement, a vow renewal, and our pop-up wedding. And we will officially be... we are Just Elope Dallas, and we'll be Just Elope New Orleans.
2 locations.
2 locations. And
no, it's really anywhere. It doesn't even if you got even if you're in California, you're in Atlanta.
Right.
We travel anywhere. We go in your backyard.
But we have to set locations.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we say anywhere, we literally mean
we're only
anywhere.
limited by your vision and budget.
Just want to add that small.
Want to add that in there.
But we have financing options available.
So the beautiful thing about our business, we have 100% financing for those who qualify through Square. So I mean, just another key piece that we were able to add into our business this year. But it literally has been a whirlwind, and I'm so excited. We have so many awesome things in the works.
Right.
That.
Yeah,
are you ready?
Sky's just the limit. It's about to move fast.
I thought you finished how you was pregnant.
Oh.
Look, and I was like, no, you're not.
No, I'm not.
She's not pregnant.
No, not at all.
When you married or when you with somebody for a long time and they say, "Are you ready?" It just doesn't.
No,
it don't feel right.
We are not. We have 2 children. Maddox is 6 and Jackson is 4, and we are okay with that.
Okay.
So
quite fine.
My baby fever has subsided, and we're okay with that. So you can
breathe.
Don't say, "Are you ready?" though. Don't say, "Are you like you really said, "Are you ready?" on this line. You ready for what?
To jig.
So this is one of my questions, because we have a lot of entrepreneurs watching, and a lot of people are probably in a relationship. So what are some key things to remember when being married to an entrepreneur?
That understand it's all coming from a good place.
Okay.
You might get, she might not speak to me today because she's just in thought, or it's all coming from a good place. Like, remember why you wanted to be with that person in the first place. Remember why you pursued them, or they pursued you. Remember those dates, those times, all that. It all comes from a good place. Like, and you just gotta even if you're not with an entrepreneur, even if you're not an entrepreneur, you have to build your relationship. Nobody has your relationship. Nobody. Right. There's no book. There's no. We can talk to our friends, our homeboys, and their relationship don't sound nothing like ours.
Yeah.
And then because you be talking to your buddy and you be like, man, their relationship. You might think their relationship is perfect, but nobody ever really tells you really what it is, and you just have to understand that no relationship is perfect. And being with an entrepreneur, just understand that it ain't always be smooth, but just always be in that remembrance, because it's gonna be times where she's gonna be up at night. She's not lying. I'll fall asleep, and as a man, you be like, man, my wife working harder than me, but it's not necessarily that. It's that she doesn't want she is taking whereas I'm in the rat race, she's off the beaten path. She took the left turn, I took the right turn.
Right.
And you just got to support that because at the end of the day, the goal is still the goal.
Right.
The goal is
Still
to
the
get
house,
here.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Still our household.
We can go this way and just like this, but we both gonna end up meeting
And
right here.
her success is your success.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just all about understanding. If you could just deal with it, I just push through because you don't know, man. You really don't know what they own to. You really I honestly, when she first brought the idea of Just Elope, it was a good idea. It was, you know what I'm saying, I was cool. I think of, when you think of Elope, you
like,
think of Vegas.
I don't know.
But then we started
Then I
talking
start
about
popping.
Yeah.
No.
no. Okay, first of all, I came up with the name.
Okay.
You did.
I came up with the name. Like, you have a role. Like,
Yeah.
You
even
do,
if you're not
yeah.
an entrepreneur, you
Yeah.
really have a role. You have a voice.
Right.
And sometimes, if you don't use that voice, that's the reason why that person probably hasn't taken to that next level. And if you use your voice, being a non-entrepreneur, that could be the difference between your first dollar and your millionth dollar or something.
Right,
you don't know.
right.
You just really don't know. And if you believe in, I really believe in her. Like, I really do.
That's awesome.
So honestly, she just makes. If she made me a believer, then I'm not. Again, when she step out the house, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. You not her toughest critic. You're not the person that knows her inside out. You don't know the grind. You don't know that it's gonna look good to you. You don't know the late nights. You don't know the long. You know what I'm saying. You don't know the talks, the drafts, the rough drafts. She taught herself everything. She taught herself web design.
Yeah.
She taught herself photography. She bought the camera. This all comes from her photography background.
Mm-hmm.
She bought that camera, her first camera, to take pictures of our kids when we had our kids. That literally morphed from her, and mind you, first of all, she never took pictures of our kids.
Mm-hmm.
Never did. She took a class to learn how to take pictures, but she never took pictures of our
They're
kids.
horrible to take a picture of. It's
Like-
called photographer's kid syndrome.
So-
They won't sit for me. They're like,
Exactly.
Because you're a mom.
right. So I'm like, I need some paid clients. I'm gonna need y'all to go.
And it started from that. And then it just took off. So it's crazy because she had so many other ideas before that.
Right.
It was a business that she started a long time ago. It was a Hot Pink Light.
Hot Pink Light.
And she had this idea of she wanted a photographer to come out to do these different things and have these different packages set up.
Diva 4-day package.
She wasn't a photographer. Mind you, she wasn't a photographer.
Right.
Years later now, she's a photographer, an in-demand photographer, and then she creates this business, which is just it's crazy. And I don't think that would have happened it could have happened, but I don't think that would have happened without just being supportive.
Right.
Because you don't know what she's going to do. Honestly, I don't know what she's going to come up with, but you just got to grind with them. You just got to roll
there with
through it.
them.
You just got to grind with them.
Take the journey with
Yeah,
them.
Exactly.
and you're good about that.
It's not, honestly, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
At this point, I'm shooting threes.
Yeah.
So
Steph over here. Okay.
Steph Curry
Okay.
shot at this point.
And,
So
and also being honest, if you're being honest when you're a non-entrepreneur, you don't want to be the person that was in the gym and then they go to the league after you out there.
Real talk. Real talk.
it's true because you are supporting them.
Listen, listen, Jeff Bezos and his wife are getting divorced right now, but
Yeah.
imagine if she would have left him when he said he just wanted to start an online bookstore. She'd be looking like, that could have been me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be, I'm not going to lie, I don't want to be, that could have been me.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be you. We locked in. We not worried about that part. But it is definitely refreshing to be at the point that we're at now in our marriage.
Yeah.
And